Welcome to Root Talk with Lillian M. Welcome to Root Talk with Lillian M. I just finished talking about a video that I was talking about, and I was like, let me talk about this topic quickly. I've seen Black Americans saying they don't look African. I said, what? The most shocking thing that I've ever heard is some Black Americans saying they don't look anything like African. What? You are called African American. You're called African American. Actually, as me, I'm African, by the way. Africans, they call you Black Americans. In reality, Black Americans, in reality, Africans, they actually call Black Americans Black Americans. It is you, African Americans. It is you, Black Americans, you call yourself African Americans. You say African American. I've seen a lot of videos, you people referring to yourself as African Americans. Africans do not say African American, they say Black Americans. That's the word they prefer, most of them. So I made a video last time talking about do Africans hate Black Americans, trying to explain that's not true and all that. And I've seen a lot of Black Americans being offended and all that. So when I saw the comments from Black Americans saying that they don't look anything like African, they don't look, we should talk. Someone was saying you should not even talking about Black Americans. People should not talk about us. This is Real Talk with Lillian M. This is Real Talk. The name of my channel says Real Talk. I will talk about anyone. So I won't be bullied by people saying don't talk about us. I mean, I am going to be talking about you. And I just want to make that clear to all Black Americans who just don't like it when I talk about Black Americans. I'm just going to talk about Black Americans. I'm going to talk about anyone. Maybe you should, as long as you identify as a Black person, I'm going to talk about you. The shocking thing that I've been hearing from some Black Americans, there are some good Black Americans, there are some Black Americans who actually understand me and understand everything. But there's some, anyway, I want to talk about, they say that they don't look African. Some Black Americans say that they don't look African. That's one of the most shocking thing that I've ever heard. Because Black Americans, most of them, they look more African than us African. Yes, I'm African. Some of you do look more African than us. When I say do more African, I mean facial features. You know, big nose, big mouth, big eyes. Those are typical African signature look. Those are African looks. Big nose, big mouth, big eyes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with us. That's what makes us Black people. That's what makes us African. So when you guys have the most African features ever, and then you say you don't look African, I mean, what are you trying to happen? What are you trying to happen? What do you mean you don't look African? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. When I hear Black Americans saying that they don't look African, I'm like, what? I know. We might not be good looking. But well, too bad. You look like us. Some of you, to be honest, if we are to be honest, some of you, I actually look more Black Americans than you look Black American, if you want to put it that way. In fact, some of you look more African than me. I'm 100% African, and I'm happy with Africa, and I've started my talk show, Root Talk with Lillian M, call it video podcast, whatever you want to call it, because I want to debunk a lot of BS that I've seen people talking about Africans, talking about Black people in general. I've seen a lot of things being said, and I've seen a lot of things happening, and I just can't keep quiet anymore. I can't keep quiet anymore, so I decided to create Root Talk with Lillian M. So anyway, I just want to hear more from Black Americans. When you guys say you don't look African, what do you mean you don't look African? I'm just it's like white Americans. It's like white Americans say they don't look European. I mean, what do you mean you don't look European? You came from Europe. So you Black Americans, when you say you don't look African, I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? Your DNA says African. Most of you DNA 60%, 70%, it says African. So I don't understand. I've decided to make this video because those comments that I've been seeing of Black Americans saying we don't look African, that just don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all to me. Like, let me try to read some of the comments. Okay, so let me try to read some of the comments of Black Americans saying that they don't look African. And I was like, why was this people saying they don't look African? So this Black person here said, yes, we are not the same people. That lie came from the white men with that Pan-Africanist theory. We have high IQ than them, meaning Africans. Nothing in common but skin color. We are Indians. Ooh, some black Americans are calling them Indians. Calling themselves Indians, but their DNA says 80% African. Okay, there were a lot of them. So this person said, stop lying. Black Americans are admixtures of several groups of people. Black Americans don't look like African people. And I responded that, oh hell no, I've seen more black Americans who look more African than the actual Africans. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but black Americans, you look African, except those who are heavily mixed, which is very true. And this person responded, said, Real Talk Lillian M, African people don't look like foundational black Americans due to their admixtures that various groups of Americans hundreds of years removed from Africa is the reason why the difference are clear. The black people you are seeing looking Africans are Haitians and Caribbeans living in America. So I was giving an example. I was like, so is Kevin Hart an immigrant because he looks African? And this person is saying Kevin Hart doesn't look African because he's dark skinned. Look at his features, black Americans. What the heck? What are you talking about? I can qualify as Kevin Hart's daughter. How old is Kevin Hart, by the way? If he's 50 years old, I think I can qualify. Okay, let me say sister. I can qualify as Kevin Hart's sister or relative. This person, this comment here, it says at Real Talk Lillian M, Kevin Hart doesn't look African because he's dark skinned. Look at his features, black Americans. His features are African. Kevin Hart's features are African. Kevin Hart looks just like a typical African village uncle. There's a guy who looks just like Kevin Hart in Africa. I've seen a video. What do you mean that you guys don't look African? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yes, I will not deny the fact that black Americans, you are mixed race. But the thing is, you are not really, you do not qualify most of you as mixed race, to be honest, because you are 80%, most of you are 80% black, 90% most of you are 80% African, 90% African. Some of you have 1% Irish, 1% American, 2% 2% Europe. I mean, you are black. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What does black American look like? Huh? I give you an example of Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart looks 100% African, irregardless of skin color. Even his facial features. Let me tell you this. Africans, we do not have a same facial features. We do not have. You're going to see other people with very big nose. You're going to see other people with flat nose. You're going to see people with a straight nose. You're going to see people with smaller nose. You're going to see people with smaller eyes. We do not have a specific look. But you can actually see that the person is black. So I don't know if America or USA convinced you to hate Africa and all that, but Africans, yeah, I know Africa has been, the name Africa has been slandered. The name Africa has been associated with poverty. The name Africa has been associated with all the bad things you can think of. The name Africa has been, I mean, if you mention Africa, the first thing that comes in their mind is poverty. Poverty. Because that's how they just want to, yeah, that makes them happy. Bad things, nothing good. But we are here, we are thriving. We are here, we are thriving. No, I made this video talking about, in my video, I was just, because I've been seeing on social media some black Americans complaining that Africans, they hate black Americans. So I made a video talking about, no, Africans do not hate black Americans. Individual experience does not really does not represent typical Africans. And guess what? Black Americans were over in the comment section saying a lot of BS in there. They was just attacking me for no reason. Saying we don't look like you, we don't have low IQs like you are poor in Africa, all those things. And I've discovered that made me realize that black Americans, they're actually the ones who hate Africans. This is why you should not rely on mainstream media. These people, they show you what they want you to show you. They only show you the poor side of Africa. They will not show you the poor. When they come to Africa, they will not show you a person like me, an African like me. No. They go deep in the village to look for a dirty African woman who has not yet bathed. And they say African women. They don't show us who are ready to talk, ready to defend Africa, ready to say this, No, they don't want us. The mainstream media of the Western media. The mainstream media of the Western media. No, they don't like people like me. No, I don't represent their typical Africa. They just want to go deep in rural area, looking for poor, stricken people there. And say Africa this, Africa that, Africa this. So you should do your own research. After doing your own research, you will realize that some of you cannot even afford the life rich Africans live. You cannot even afford it. Some of you cannot even afford a 5-star hotel in Africa. That is like 1,000 US dollars a day. Can you afford it? Some 500 US dollars a day. Can you afford it? You can't. Poor as hell. But you're out here looking down on Africans. There are rich Africans here, and there are poor Africans. Just like USA, there are rich people, there are rich Americans, and there are also homeless Americans. So yeah, I'm getting the impression that Black Americans actually hate Africans. They dislike Black Africans. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. You guys, Black Americans, you look Africans. You look like Africans 24/7. You look like Africans. And I want you Black Americans to know that when people see you, they don't see America. If you go to Japan, if you go to China, if you go to anywhere in the world, when they look at you, they don't see Black American. They see African. I'm sorry to disappoint you. The first thing that comes in their mind is African. Only when you open your mouth, that is when they say and this person and the other person commented that, oh, Black Americans, we do not have big nose and big lips. Give me a break. As far as I'm concerned, I do not have big nose, and as far as I'm concerned, I do not have big lips. As far as I'm concerned, I do not have big eyes either. Am I a Black American? No. And I've seen Black Americans with a bigger nose, with bigger lips. It's just an African signature. There's nothing wrong with big nose. Let's be happy with who we are. I don't know, maybe some of you are still angry with what happened in the past, but I was not born. I mean, I'm still doing my little bit of research on that one. So it's really strange. So Black Americans, when you say you don't look African, give me a break. Black Americans, when you say you don't look African, I mean, that is the dumbest thing ever. Unless those who are heavily mixed. Yes, I believe that Black Americans who are heavily mixed, like the descendants of people like Khloe Kardashian's daughters, like Kim Kardashian's daughters, those are heavily mixed people. Yeah, not you have 2 Black parents and you're saying don't look African. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. No, you look African. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but most of you look African more than Africans themselves. I'm just sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry to disappoint most of you Black Americans. Yeah, you look African, and yeah, you look African. You look African. I'm sorry to be the one to disappoint you. Tell you the truth, but you look very much African. Yeah, and you should be happy. There's nothing wrong with being African. They told you being African was wrong. Being African is bad, is poor. They're looking for handouts. Do I look like someone who's looking for handouts? Give me a break. Give me a break. There's nothing wrong with being African. There's nothing wrong, and I just want to say to Black Americans, there's nothing wrong with being African. There's nothing wrong with looking African. There's nothing wrong with looking African. Don't be offended. And your DNA screams African. Though some of you want to claim being mixed. Yes, some of you are 2% mixed. 10% mixed. I don't think that counts at all. I don't think that counts at all. And when the world sees you, Black Americans, they don't see Black Americans. There is absolutely no difference. There's absolutely no difference between African and Black Americans. No. No matter, even if you are lighter skin, you can actually see these facial features are definitely African. So to think that, and as I said, the world will always see you as Africans. For sure. For sure. Nobody will naturally know you are Black Americans. Nobody. I've seen a lot of Black Americans in Asia being called Africans, and they'll be offended, like, I'm not African. Like, why are you offended? You look African. That's where your ancestors come from. So yeah, I just want to talk about this. Like, Black Americans, they're saying they don't look African, and I'm like, what? And I would like to take your photos and my photos, and we put them like this. Those of you who say you don't look like, I would like to put your photos together with my photos and see, and if we take to other people and say which one looks African and which one looks Black American, you'll be surprised that they would think I'm Black American and you're African. Anyway, me, I'm happy being African. And I'm just happy being African. Yeah, I think you guys should be happy being Black Americans. You like to call yourself African American. I don't know why, but I find it weird, because me, I'm African, and I think if I come to America, which will never happen, I think I should be called African American. Because I am African, and then in America, I don't know, guys. I just don't know. But anyway, I've seen a lot of Black Americans calling themselves African American, but it's none of my business. I don't really care how people identify and all of that. But when I saw Black Americans getting triggered when I said we almost look the same, actually I was not saying it in a bad way. I was trying to tell Black Americans that Africans do not hate you. Even if you come here, you're going to be blending. You're going to blend with with Africans. Oh my God, they were so angry with that. The fact that I said you guys you blend in very well, so nobody's gonna hate you because you look different. You don't look different. You blend in. They didn't like that. They said, "Oh, we don't look African. We don't look African." I'm like, wait a minute, what? You look African more than Africans. Some of you look more African than Africans. I don't know who told you that all Africans have big nose, big mouth, big didn't look or whatever. But sorry to disappoint you, Africans, we don't look the same. We don't look the same at all. Especially facial features are not the same. We have people with flat nose. We have people with straight nose, small mouth, big mouth. We just God's creations. Anyway, I am sorry to all Black Americans who think that they don't look African. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. You look African. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't know. Some of you think it's a bad thing because maybe of whatever you were told, but as I say, don't rely on mainstream media. Do your own research about Africa. Don't just wait. I know this word. I know Western media. They wanna say anything bad about Africa. That they wanna promote anything bad about Africa. That is one of the reasons why I just decided to start Root Talk with Lillian M, so that I can just share things that I think they should be shared. I should debunk some things and I should call out some things that I think they're just wrong or they don't make sense at all. Also, I strongly believe that our culture is definitely different, even in Africa. And I believe that our culture, Black Americans and African, we do not have the same culture. I'd like to believe that. And even here in Africa, we do not have the same culture. We have a lot of tribes. Every tribe follows their own culture. So I don't say we are the same culture, but when it comes to race, Black Americans and Africans, we are the same race. Get over it. But the only difference is that in Africa, we do not consider mixed race black. I think it's a story for another day. Yes, in Africa, we do not consider mixed race black. If you are mixed, you're not black. You are cold colored. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Today, I just want to talk about I just want to respond to some Black Americans who were saying they don't look African. They were so triggered. They were so angry that I said Africans, they will blend in with Africans very well, which is very true. You blend in with Africans very well. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll see you next time on Root Talk with Lillian M. Goodbye.